Hello, I'm Paul Beaver. I have the great pleasure and great honour of being a board member of the Billy Fiske Foundation. Billy Fiske, of course, is very famous in Britain because he was the first American to die in the Battle of Britain. He was one of those American volunteers who came to fight Nazi Germany way before America had entered the war. And the Battle of Britain, of course, to us, is a fundamental part of our history. It's the first aerial battle. It's the first time that fighter versus bomber was actually seen. There were no ground troops involved and very few naval ships. So this is an air war, and Billy Fiske was right there in the middle of it. Well, I'm joined today by Professor Peter Caddick-Adams. He's written the definitive histories of the D-Day operation and the Battle of the Bulge. So I thought I'd ask him about Billy Fiske. Peter, Billy Fiske is one of those people that we don't really, I don't think, internationally know enough about. So he's a sportsman, he was at Cambridge University, he was obviously an Anglophile, but he was also an Olympic bobsleigh champion. I mean, he won 2 gold medals in 1928 and again in 1932. But he didn't go in 1936 to Garmisch-Partenkirchen. Why do you think that was?
Well, Paul, I think the real reason is he understood the true nature of Nazi Germany in a way an awful lot of people didn't. And he took the very brave and moral decision not to go where, this is 1936, a lot of the world is still entranced by what he appears to be doing for Germany. And they don't understand the moral dimension of what that really means for Germany and Germany's outsiders.
So this Olympic Games in 1936, of course, has a huge, it's the first media Olympic Games. It's all about razzmatazz, it's all about red and black, and it's all about everybody looking and seeing how brilliant the Germans were. And for the Winter Olympics, that weren't in Berlin, of course, but down in Bavaria, if you want to get a world record with all that media, you would have thought this is the place. I mean, I think Billy Fiske comes out of this really well.
I think it takes a very special kind of person with innate intelligence to understand really what the Third Reich stands for, and then to take a moral stand and say, I'm not going to be part of it, when the majority of not just American opinion, but world opinion, would have been not to rock the boat, let Germany recover from the First World War, and wish them well because no one knew the horrible path it was all going to take.
And I think what's really interesting about Billy Fiske is he's seen this happening way before anybody else, with the exception perhaps of Winston Churchill. So he's already a member of White's Club, an exclusive gentleman's club in Pall Mall, where it's one of those things that is very British. There's a bunch of young aristocrats there who want to fly, so they form a squadron of the Auxiliary Air Force known as 601 Squadron, and I'm deeply privileged to be an honorary group captain of 601 Squadron at the moment. So I understand that ethos of it. So Billy Fiske does pilot training, he becomes a fighter pilot, and it's natural for him to join number 601 County of London Squadron. Peter, the Battle of Britain we look upon as being a really important time in our history. And of course, he's flying at RAF Tangmere. He's going to be right on the front line. What would it have been like?
Well, I think the thing that we are in danger of overlooking is that we concentrate on the Battle of Britain as being fought by a small number of British pilots in the Royal Air Force. And the real truth of the matter is we could not have won in the United Kingdom without all the pilots who came from overseas, from a wide range of empire countries. By that I mean sort of Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, goodness knows where else. But also those volunteers who came from as far apart as the United States, defying the laws of their own country. They were ordered not to go and in danger of losing their citizenship if they did, so doubly brave. People who came from Palestine, from the Republic of Ireland, and they all came, and the love was flying, and they found a way to express that joy of being up in the air by putting themselves on the line as well. So there was, I think they all had a sense not just of the love of life and the joy of flying, but they enjoyed that adrenaline of danger, because that's undoubtedly what it meant in 1940. And here we are, we're actually just down the road from Middle Wallop, and the skies above us and behind us would have been alive with the sound of Merlin engines. In July 1940, and that's the month we're talking about, when he gets airborne, he does his first operational flights with the squadron, and then straight into battle. And I think that time was full of poignancy, because the country had been at war, Europe was at war, everyone had got used to the whole business of a threat from the air. They had seen continental Europe being swallowed up by the Germans, and there was a real sense that the United Kingdom, wherever you were, was on the front line, the civilians, but defending that was this very thin skein of a few aircraft in the Royal Air Force, and of course the Germans 20 miles away, just the other side of the English Channel, and that's a drama difficult to communicate to some Americans, for whom this was 3,000 miles away.
And I think that's the key. Billy Fiske's death, and we should say that death was on the most important day in the Battle of Britain, the hardest day, when both sides lost large numbers of aircraft, when the Germans were determined to destroy the airfields in southern Britain, to open the way so they could bomb London. It's a really, really difficult time. And of course, the aircraft that were attacking Tangmere, that Billy Fiske and his colleagues got airborne to attack, were actually Stuka dive bombers that were going to destroy the hangars and the buildings at Tangmere. And it's I don't think we can really understand that the aircraft were getting airborne, the wheels were coming up, the gun button was to fire, because just above them were German bombers. And we should say, they were being outnumbered 50, 70, sometimes 100 to 1. I mean, these are big numbers. And for a young man, this must have been both exhilarating and really terrifying. So where do you think Billy Fiske's legacy stands today in this modern age, where we still look upon that Winston Churchill expression of the special relationship?
Well, he exemplifies it, because he's in there right at the start, in fact, a long time before America formally joins the war. He's laying his life on the line, because he's taking off from his airfield into a raid that's happening on the airfield. And if you look at his flying log, there are days when he's flying 5 sorties in a single day. So the sheer exhaustion of it leaves us in no doubt that the odds are stacked against him, and sadly he doesn't last very long. He crashes in flames on the 16th, and he dies in hospital on the 17th of August 1940. And the peak German effort is Adler Tag, Eagle Day, on the 13th of August, so he's right there in the middle of it. And if his claims are right, then he dies in race, because he shot down 5 German aircraft, which must be the first American to shoot down 5 German aircraft in World War II.
The first American ace, in effect, absolutely. So I think it's also telling that he had the chance to bail out of his flaming
Yes, he did, yeah.
but he wanted to bring it back because we could repair the aircraft. That was the great secret of the Battle of Britain, the civilian repair organisation up at Oxford, which took wrecked aeroplanes and put them back into the air within days, in fact.
And the sad case, the fact is, in fact, the aircraft is repaired and is flying again, but he isn't, and he doesn't survive. So what he's sacrificing himself to do actually comes to pass. So we honour and remember his memory, because a lot of people are in danger of forgetting the American contribution to the Battle of Britain, which is vital. 5 more German aircraft would have been over here causing trouble, and if all our friends and volunteer pilots from around the world hadn't helped out, then you and I might be having this discussion, but in German. And there would be a different flag fluttering in the background. And I think you can't put it firmer on the line than that, and that's what his sacrifice means to us in the United Kingdom today, and all Brits and Americans should remember that.
Peter Caddick-Adams, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us at the Billy Fiske Foundation.